Hello, it's that time of week again, where it's time for the weekly notices, and it's also that time of year when everyone's gone on summer holidays and there's less things to talk about. But there are a couple of important notices to bring your attention to this week, especially regarding to worship this Sunday and going forward, really. The first thing to say is that I'm sure you're aware that from today, the government have made it mandatory to wear face coverings when you're in the shops, when you're out and about. The House of Bishops, Church of England's House of Bishops, have therefore been thinking about whether they need to issue formal advice about face coverings for public worship. And they have done. They've done that a couple of days ago. And what they have said is they advise, this is my reading of it, they advise face coverings to be worn where possible for public worship. But unlike with shops, it's not a mandatory thing where it's required to be done. But that is the advice of the House of Bishops. I will put a link to that advice in the email, so you can read that for yourself if you would like to. That's up to you to do with that information as you see fit. But that is the advice that has come. As with last week, I'll be celebrating this week again, and as with last week, I will be using a face covering during the distribution of communion, but during the rest of the service I won't be having my face covered, but I will be standing a good distance away from everyone, and of course all the elements will be covered, so to make sure those protective measures are in place in case anyone is concerned. But as I say, that advice is there. I'll leave that for you as an intelligent adult to read for yourself if you would like to, and make your own decisions about what you think is appropriate. The other thing, the exciting news, is that if everything goes according to plan, which I'm sure it will, this week we're going to be live streaming from St Giles. Our first live stream, our first live broadcast. So whether you are able to come to St Giles on Sunday at 10:30, or whether you are watching it from home, at the same time, we will all be experiencing the same worship together, and any fluff-ups I make can be seen by everyone, all at the same time. But Professor Bernard Silverman will be preaching. It will be a pre-recorded sermon that he's providing, so we've got that to look forward to as well. So please do join us either in person or online if you are at all able to this Sunday, and it'll be lovely to see you there. Again, as with the last few weeks, please let me know if you are going to be there. It does make a huge help for planning. I know it's a bit of a pain, and it's not strictly booking because we're not going to turn people away, but if only half the people who come have told me they're coming, and then we find that there's lots more people, that makes life altogether more stressful and difficult for those poor people who are trying to make sure that everyone has a space and everyone has a seat. So if you can let me know by just drop me an email, that really does make a huge bit of difference, especially for the morning service where we tend to be closer to capacity, but also for evening prayer, which is at St Margaret's this week. It's still useful to know, because again that does help us with planning around it. So that's all the notices we have really this week. Just a bit of a preview that next week, hopefully again, if everything goes to plan, we will have this time next week be launching our new websites, both for St Giles and for St Margaret's. They won't be completely full because there will still be some more content to be transferred over, but we want to get those up and running during the summer, during when it's a little bit quieter, and get those established as soon as we can. So hopefully next week I'll be able to announce that to you. God bless you. I hope you have a good and restful weekend, and I will see some of you on Sunday. God bless.